All right, so here we go. We're going live again. Yeah, Nick from the Late Night Garage with yours truly. Working on some tap handle stuff for a Game Craft Brewing Company, and I'm waiting for Scott to kind of get back to me on it so we can kind of solidify the plans and designs. And gosh, dang it, why did that drop? There we go. I need that. I found another piece of a recorder, but neither here nor there. So, God bless America. I'm just like butterfingering things right off the get-go. Like, good night. Anywho, we're getting after it a little bit tonight because we're going to print out some more tap handles, and I think this is like the final revision that we're going to go with. And I did some design changes to them to facilitate it being less magnetic in some instances. And no, there maybe will be like another revision coming out soon, but the chief problem that we were running into is the fixed top. We talked about it a little bit last night. So I adjusted the top. We got a couple prints out where the top is now completely affixed, and then the badge for it is actually connecting, and this will get just glued in. So I don't want to run multiple colors because I don't want to be wasteful of material. And so I popped that out, redesigned this, have it set so it can be just inset in, and then put a little flange on it so I can cover so it looks like it's fully 3D printed even though it's not. It's just like a little bit of slip. And so this is our first functional test for the C with a little right angle so it can fill in that gap spacing. And then with the new design, it should fit perfectly because I changed the inset on this to be dropped back by 1 mil, which the approximate thickness of that little flange right there is 0.096, and so that should make it perfect so we can just have this thing affixed in there. The problem that I'm running into right now is our Matter Hackers silver I am low on. I don't have enough to complete one full print, so I'm going to cascade from one of my 3 kilo spools down to one of my smaller spools to my 1 kilo spools. And so we're going to do some quick respooling, and then we're going to get right back into printing because printing is the name of the game right now. I got to turn and burn on some of this stuff so I can get it out. Alright, so that's set. I got our blue tape on there. There's our adapter with our thing to hook it up to the drive. We're going to drop this in. The position's already set for it. So now we're going to grab a 3 kilo spool, which I set over here. And I've got about a kilo and some change left on this one, so I'm probably just going to let this thing run out. Or whatever's left I'm going to put back onto the Voron to get some more of the Voron calibration done because God, I need to do that. There's so many things that I need to be working on. And time has become the limiting factor for all of it. So I got my good old blue painter's tape. And we're going to get a couple sections of this down right quick. And then we're going to hook it up to the small DeWalt cordless screwdriver I got here, and then we're just going to let it rip. Cascade a bunch of this over. Yeah, sorry for the clutter on the workbench. This is all my dry pods for the AMS units. Maybe I'll be picking up another AMS tomorrow, I don't know yet. Connect our adapter. This guy. Connect that. And then we're just going to start letting this thing rip here in a second. All right. Come on. I had to slow it down a little bit. We're probably just gonna call that good. I mean, that's plenty for right now. All right. Yeah, this thing is only got like 3 loops left on it. Back up here. Pick up all my stuff that I dropped. Luckily, it wasn't too much that dropped, but hey. All right. And then once we get the first couple of these done, we're going to go ahead and benchmark this against like the bamboo silver, excuse me, the bamboo silver and some of the other bamboo material to figure out which one we're going to go with moving forward. So are you going to follow me? Yeah, come on, follow me over here, camera. All right, so you're going to drop this at AMS. Slide you back in position. And for some reason, I'm getting the smell of like burning electronics. And I don't know where I'm getting the smell from burning electronics from, but I smell burning electronics. So, that's never fun. I do have some stuff on the smoker though, and so I'm probably going to go check the smoker here in a minute, make sure the smoker's not doing something crazy. Cyan, yellow, magenta. Or maybe it's just the smell from good old desiccant inside these pods. Okay. Ka-chung. The bamboo going here in a minute. So let's go back over and we'll take the camera and we'll go over to the bamboos. Now I got to clean up everything still. Okay, so we're going to go ahead and so this is the latest revision of the GameCraft tap handle, and so we adjusted quite a few things. And if we jump over to Fusion, inside Fusion, we made some changes to the model, how it interacted, got the top spliced in, and we fixed the logos on the side because I had an egregious error where I had them backwards, and I didn't realize that I had them backwards because it was just like, a semi-minor detail. And so we adjusted some of the rest of the model last night, but for tonight we shrunk this down to account for that new blue lip, and so this entire GameCraft up top is going to be printed in yellow, and then with that blue on the other bamboo, which is printed here with the lip. And so as we can see, there's the lip. And with the what it looks like. And so I did a test print on it. It came out beautiful looking. So, and there's the new one. And so this is really there to just hide that little bit of front portion of yellow on the GC logo. Yeah, so the way that they look is, I'll pop it in front of this camera. So the blue is going to snap into place. Now this is the non-adjustive one, but it's there to set. And I see that after I dropped this one, it snapped. And so I might need to increase some of that fill or my top wall loops, because I don't want that having that little of a structural rigidity if it does get dropped. And so let's do that real quick before we get this thing printing. So let's jump back into OBS Studio. There we go, prep. And then make sure we go to the slides because I want to see how many top layers we got going on. And kick this down. Right, so there, gyroid 20% infill. Going up. There's that. So we got one. So this would be first layer of top. So 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 7. I think that's my point of failure right there, is there's only that one squiggly line that's coming in where I'm going to want more than one squiggly line. So then that's fine, but this is our weak point, is right there. That's our weak point. Because it wasn't the tower that broke off. It was when it transitioned to the, let's see, there's the crosshatch. So there's the crosshatch, and so yeah, so this is our problem, is that interface right there. It's treating it like an interface almost, where I'm not having binding between the outer, and so that failed right here. Let's see what slices as with rectilinear. So still did the same. Take a look at some settings here. So we got the 6 ball, but we need to, why is this one not binding between the two? want those to bind. How do I get those to bind? Let's see. And it should technically be fine. That's the point of failure right there. Is this. Right there. And so let's go back to our strength. And so that might help. It's going to increase our print time though. 4 hours, 19 minutes. Yeah, we'll run with it and see what it comes up as. I'm at 25% infill. Alright, so 4 hours puts it at 4 hours 19 puts it at just after 3 o'clock in the morning. Alright, so yeah, we'll give this one a shot, see what it comes up with. Alright. Plate. We got C3, B2. Send it. All right. Yeah, we'll put this away. Damn it, that sucks. I may have to bevel that out ever so slightly just to see if I get it to conform better. But yeah, what I was talking about earlier is for the C, once I redesigned the C with the texture side out to give it a little bit more interest, and then I dropped and recessed that portion of the yellow so that it looks a little bit more like it's been printed all the way through. And so I'd like this better, and so we're trying the recessed version of the logo, and then we'll go from there. But as you can see, it's like, that's an egregious error. It's upside down. It's upside down. But those fixes have happened. You know, we'll call it a day. You know, each one of these things costs about $5 to make, but that's not like accounting for the power consumption or anything else. It's more so just there. But I've been really happy with the performance of the E3D high flow nozzle so far. I recommend you guys check them out too for your bamboos in any construct. So we're going to put our spooler away. And God, the number of times that I've used this thing is just incredible. Hopefully the NVIDIA broadcast is canceling out my fan noise. Just got a fan going in the garage because it's warm in here. I'm going to do some magnet harvesting. Get rid of some of those magnets. Okay, where are we at? We are warming up. And So I'm going to print another one of these little blue face plates right now. Off to the side, put the board back up here. Okay. Run with it. Let's go. Take these two new prototypes and add them to my prototype pile. I've got so many prototype tap handles sitting around the garage now. I'll figure out what I'm going to do with them. I really want to do that filament grinding station and get those things fixed. But yeah, here was my prototypes from yesterday, like working on the inset and how the inset would look. And proof of concept, because this is like one that was actually like printed layer by layer with layer changes, and it just came out to be 191 filament changes, and it was just like ungodly with the amount of waste that came off of that. So it's been working at it from a how do I reduce the waste yet keep the print quality and capability to a thing that is not cost prohibitive for me anyway, and then working on the solution. So here we are, turning gears on this one. Now we're going to go grab some more beer, I think, and then take a sip of beer and maybe get after whatever we want to have next. Maybe we need to work on some of these other things. I got to figure out what to do for the tolerances on this guy. How better to anchor these things down. Add some more anchor points onto it, just because of some of the weight that's going into it. I don't know. Yeah. But you know, taking client feedback and then adjusting everything based off of client feedback, or if I see something that I can change or adjust in order to make it more economical or whatnot. And so it's all kind of prototype drafting and design. And then you need to work on cleaning up the garage with all the crap and junk and filament that I got all over the darn place. And I need to do, and I talked about it before, one of these nights is getting my Roomba up and running my Roomba, my old Roomba in the garage to work, you know, robot cleaning, because robot cleaning would be kind of cool. Okay, so let's reset these back into kits. There's one AMS kit. Two AMS kits. A third. Yeah, I need to go spray some apple juice on the pork that's on the smoker here in a minute. You got some like 8-bit background music going. Maybe some Amon Amarth or something. Doot 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 doot. Okay. Still haven't gotten that beer yet. I'm gonna go grab some beer. What next to work on? Alright, so what I want to do is I want to jump back into Fusion, and I want to see about creating something. So we're going to grab this. And so let's make a new group. And we're going to go, should be body, with this, so that. Okay, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to move to group, and then our group, we're going to go group 4, okay, and so now we're going to copy this. Doop. Make a copy of it. I'm going to hide group 3. Create another group. I'm going to grab these 3. Those 3. Cancel off that right quick so we're not hiding anything. So this. Move to group. Select group 5, okay. And now what we're going to do is we're actually going to change this over to a snap fit is my hope, and so we're going to grab each one of these, and we're going to get rid of the magnets. We are trying a non-magnet option. So it should be 3.4, 3.3, 3.2, 3.1, 3 flat. So 3 flat. Okay. So these all need to come up by like 0.1. 0.125. Yeah, 0.125. Let's take a look at that. Make sure all these are the same. Okay. Okay, so that took all of those away. Now what we're going to do is we're going to notch in a section of these. And so what do we got for a height? From there to there. Here to here, we got 2.5. Okay, so we're probably going to want to have that as a 1 mil flange or cut in, and so let's go ahead and see on the side. So we got 2.5. This is going to be 2.5. All right. So 2.5, 2.5. And so from here, I'm going to make a mark. Come on. So we're going to want this to be 1. And that's going to be all the way up to the top. Rotate that down. sketch. And so now we're going to inset this by -0.25. Okay. And so that gives us a little bit of a lip underneath. And so we can see that lip right there. We're so far zoomed in. Alright, so let's try this. Zoom out. So there you can see that lip. And so we just created that lip. And so we're going to do that on both sides. And so here's another one of our C's. That one's quite a bit thinner. Kind of flimsy, but hey, whatever. Let's grab one of our test units. Fits in just fine. Once it snaps into place, it'll be good. Alright. Alright, so C and a C. Old C for prototyping, we'll get rid of that. Okay. Close. Alright, back to the design. Okay, so this should be the same. We're going to create that 1 mil lip. So we're going to create, we're going to create a sketch on here. Zoom out. Take that over. And so let's start there. And so we're going to go over 1 mil, and then that 1 mil is going to run all the way down. Lordy. To there. Sketch. And then we're going to inset that -0.25. Cut. Okay. There's the next lip. And so we're going to do the same thing. I'm probably going to do the, I'm going to try to do this on one go. Put on that face. And so we're going to create here. That's going to be 1. And that's going to be 30.6. Pivot points and camera control. Finish sketch. I know I said I was going to do 2 of them, but whatever. So now we're going to inset this by -0.25. Okay. And then lastly, this one, grab that. Rotate that over. And pan the camera up a little bit. There we go. That's going to be 1. And that's going to be, oh gosh, I forget. We'll just run it up manually. Still going. Still going. Pan the camera so slightly. set it there. Finish sketch. Pocket that out. Negative 0.25. Okay. So now we have our 4 lips for those badge plates. So what we're going to want to do now is we're going to save this as version 27, because we're on version 27. So we're going to save, and this is going to be non-magnetic. That's the new milestone. Okay. Alright. So now that we got those 1 mil lips, so what we're going to do now is we're going to go over to our plate base. And this will be fun. Once this thing loads up. And so what we're going to want to do is on the bottom of this, and so these things are set so that they can drop right into the pocket. And so what we want to do is we're going to remove the magnetic capability of it. But first we're going to make a copy of this, and I guess we'll use the cider one as our testing and evaluation, or maybe we'll just go ahead and we'll find the sled. So bodies, I don't think we have one specific for the sled yet, non-alcoholic. And so I want to find one that's going to be closest to our actual hinge and pivot point. So these are all variations that I've worked and built for some of the different types of beers and whatnot, and so you can see some of them kind of overlap, but let's go to Otaku. So we got body, which one is going to be the body for, which one is the main body? I don't have them labeled. Okay, so body 82 is the main body. And so we're going to move body 82. Okay. Now what we're going to want to do is we're going to want to turn off all the remainder of the bodies. So we're going to hide all of those. So we're only working on this, and so we'll be able to take this and cascade this across all of them once we have it set. So I'm going to press pull this, back up. So that, plus that, plus that. 3, enter. Get all those to go away. Now, so we know that our fitment is going to be 1 mil. So our workspace is going to be 1 mil. So what I want to do is I want to go to the left side here, and I'm going to make a engineering line. So we're going to sketch on that face. I still have a sketch showing. Turn off that sketch. Go back to the left side. And we're going to create an engineering line. So we're going to create a line, which will create a box, because I need to know exactly. So this is going to be, we want it at 1 mil high. Okay, and then that's fine. We can put it at 1 by 1 square for right now. Finish sketch. So we'll turn the body off, turn the sketch on. Alright, so there's our square. So this is going to be kind of our reference square. And so we're going to set this, because it's set the drop in right now, and that's our 1 mil spacer for where that pocket's going to be at. Our total height for this right now is 4.6 mil. And so we're going to want to set, and I think, how many should I have across this, and we'll cascade this across. So We'll go from the bottom. And we're going to create a sketch on that profile plane. And we're going to create a rectangle, and it's going to be, let's see, how much should we give this? So we're going to go 0.25 gap space with, and we'll go 5 mil. Enter. Okay. Finish. And so what we're going to do is we're going to pocket this out. So I'm going to grab this, and we're going to press and pull that in. So let me select it. There we go. 5, 6. We'll go 1 mil in. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to create a backing. So that's 1 mil in. So we know that if we go to here, and let me go to the actual, like, hold on. Our graphic design, nope, not our graphic design. I gotta change this actually, so let's move that up to the top. Let's see, this one can be removed. Yes. We'll go Logitech Webcam, we'll turn that one on. And we'll shrink that down, we'll bring that up over here as well. I'm getting some background noise on the mic, so we're going to change the properties on that, and we're going to go to the NVIDIA broadcast. Okay, and so that should kill all the background noise. Maybe. I don't know, maybe it's picking up some of the background noise from the bamboo, I don't know. I'll have to come back and take a look at the video later on. Alright, so what we're going to do now is we're going to, since we have this 1 mil pocket in, I want to remove half of that, so we are going to go and we're going to create another sketch real quick. So create sketch on this profile plane. And then I'm going to create another 1 mil. 1 mil by 1? No, that's here. Why not let me select that corner? Come on. There we go. So 1 by 1. Finish. Alright, so now that I got my 1 by 1, and now kind of where that's going to, we're going to go to the bottom of the unit. And so we're going to create another sketch. And so this is going to be, and I lost it. Where did you go? Okay, so now we're going to go over here. We've got that, right? So we got a little bit of a pocket, and we've got this. We're going to create a rectangle because I want this to be flexible. So we're going to come over 0.5, and then that's going to come down. So by 5. Okay. Sketch. And so now that I know I have another 0.5 past this, so we're going to create one more sketch on this profile. Zoom back out. Come on. Zoom in. And so we're going to go here. 0.5 by 5. Enter. Sketch, and we're going to pocket this one out. And so now we're going to grab this, shell that out, and we're going to shell that out to cut. And so it's going to be distance -1. Okay. Alright, so now I've got this handy dandy little bar. And so what we're going to do is we're going to create a little nubbin in the center of this that's going to come out. And so what this is going to do is it's going to give us kind of like almost like a locking nub that'll be in the center. So we'll go to the direct left, we'll rotate that, nope, other way, bink, bink. And so sketch this side, go over back over here. Okay, so I want to create a center diameter circle. And so we're going to figure out where the center is, and there's center. And so, wrong profile though, wrong profile plane. Okay, so we're going to cancel out of that. Create a sketch. I want the profile plane to be this one. Go back over to it. And we're going to create a center diameter circle. Wrong profile again. That's fine. We'll just get it set here in a second. So we're going to go here. Where's center? There's center. Pink. And we're going to rotate that by 90. You're not rotating by 90. Hold on. Control Z. I think I selected the wrong profile again. Hold on. Brain. My brain needs to be working. Okay, so let's zoom out. Zoom out some more. Where did you go? There you are. Alright, so here we go. Now we're going to go and we're going to select this. Center point. There we go. To center point. Finish sketch. Now I'm going to press pull, and I'm going to press pull this up, and we're going to come up, so we're at the -5, -0.5, so -0.5. Or is it going to be 1? Hold on. -1. There we go. Okay. So now we have our little nub. And so our goal, and we're going to take a look at this because we're only at 0.25, so we're going to have to probably squish this in. And probably set it, so we could probably take that back because I made that way too big. So inspect this because our little channel that we created is 0.25. No, that might work. Create. Oh, dang it. Line. Construction line. From here to. So we're at 0.5 mil. So we need to shrink this down by basically half. So I'm going to finish that. So we're going to take this, I'm going to press and pull this down by -0.5. there's our little nubbin. And so that little nubbin should lock into place with the channel that we created. So if we go back to the channel, this channel right here is from here to, there you go, to the inside of the pocket. Gosh dang it. So really hard for me to get after. But, you know, from here to here, it's saying that it's, you know, 1.031. But if it was going to be, where did it go? There. So if we go to where that shaded gray area is, it looks slightly lighter gray, that's going to be 1.0 exactly. So now we need to make sure that this guy is going to lock in. So we're going to take this edge, and we're actually going to chamfer those in. I want it to snap into place easily and snap out of place easily. And so this should be able to give us a little bit more locking bite. So we'll go 0.2. There's a little bit of flat section, to bite in there. And then, yeah, so now we're going to take this entire thing and we want to cascade this about 4 times across this entire section. And that will give us like 4 spots where it's going to pop into the inset across the entire thing, and then we'll try it on one of the future endeavors. And so yeah, that's a quick way to kind of go about it. And I may need to increase this distance to make sure there's enough flex and torsion in there, and I wanted to have enough gap spacing that we don't have to worry about it working in a 3D printing environment. And so I just want those little nubbins on there to basically act as a locking mechanism, thus reducing the means for magnetics. I love magnetics, but we'll see. And so, see if I remember how to do this. And so, we're going to take these things, and so I want this, no, I want modify. Sketches. Right, now that the sketches are gone, I guess maybe I could do it by sketch, I don't know. In theory, this should work. In theory, communism works, so, all right. Replicate this, so this is going to be a sketch. This one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one, this one. All right. Let's see, create. Pattern on path. Bodies, faces, components. So I should have saved all these as new bodies, and so what we'll do is we will let me see if I can mirror this on the opposite side. Okay, so let's see if we can mirror this. I don't know if I can or can't. I gotta figure this out. Hold on. Okay. So our little nubbin, we got our little thing. So because I didn't say these as components. Bodies, I didn't say these are bodies. Functionally, this is what I want to do. How do I recreate this? Gosh dang it. Well, I have to do it every single darn time. Okay. Modify. Spaces, features. So how can I create these as misclick things and it just like shoots off in the distance. Okay, duplicate the sketch. Yes, I can. So I got to rebuild this to make sure that I can get these as individual objects is what it looks like. So, okay, so let's try this again. So we're going to do the same thing that we did. Alright, so let's go to our sketches. So we're going to, our sketches are done. We don't want to do anything with the sketches. I want to make these as solid as possible. Okay, how would we do this to make this easier? I want this to be separate from that object. So I guess the best way that I can do it is let's play with the settings and we'll go with this again. So we're going to go with, we'll create a sketch on that profile plane. And so we're just going to come over here. This will be 1 by 1. Okay. Finish sketch. This will be 5 by 1. Finish sketch. And maybe it's because I need to do these as engineering lines. If I do it as an engineering line, maybe it'll change. Okay, so let's do this as as a construction line. Sorry. Now let's see what this does. No. I should just set an offset plane so it doesn't keep jumping back and forth. But whatever. So we're going to go 0.5 by 5. So 0.5 by 5. Okay. Sketch. I know I want offset a little bit, whatever. And then we want a 1 mil box over the top. So let's go back to sketch, this side. Come on. Over here. Create from here. Over here. This could be 1, 5, enter. No, 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 no. 0.25. There we go, 0.25. Finish sketch. Alright, so now let's do the same thing. See, this one being off is just wrecking me. Okay, so delete that, delete that, delete that, delete that. God bless America. How do I convert this now to an object? So I want these to be separate from the main body. Let's see. I gotta figure this out. How can I create this as a new object? Without adjusting the face, so I wonder if we actually like take maybe I have to recess this section in. Let me try this. Does that isolate it? No, it does not. So that isolates it as a face now. So we take this and we recess this by -0.1. isolate this to be its own thing. It's me just racking my brain right now trying to figure this thing out, but you know, here we are. Midnight 04. Alright, I will be right back for just a minute. I'll see you guys here in just a minute. All right. Huh, that's why. Okay, now noise removal should be on, so sorry about all that. Previously, here we go. All right, so yeah, I've got my little nubbin thing here, and got to figure out how to create this as its own individual little part or component so I can cascade it across this entire line. So that's kind of where I'm at, and I forget how to do it. Gosh, it's like blanking on me. And it may be that I need to create it as its own object and inset it. So we go from here, we go 1 by 5. We go from here to see. Maybe it's that I have to insert an offset plane. There we go. And so what we did is I set the dimensions, and now I have this as its own individual object. So I got body 467. So now we can manipulate body 467. So we should be able to cascade body 467 out. And so what we're going to do is we're going to remove these guys. And so how I did that is I know the dimensions of what I want. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a couple different sketches. And so the first sketch was creating the diameter or the two profiles for this object. And so that's going to be a 1 mil high by half mil deep. And then we took that and we bored out a pocket basically. So we cut out a pocket, which left our sketch here for the 1, and then we 1 mil by 0.5 mil. And so then we extruded that over to make it another solid, and we just created that as a new body. And so for this, we then took and we chopped open that a little bit more on the bottom to get that space. And so we should have 0.5 mil and 0.25 mil for spacing. And so now I should be able to work that radial. And so we're going to create a sketch here on this profile. Wherever it went. And that's more. Okay, so here we go. And so we're going to we're going to create a sketch for a radial, and we want this to be on the center point of this. Come on. There's the center point. And so we want this to be 0.5 because we want it to extend out 0.25, which is fine. Enter. So now we're going to extrude this guy to this section. And we want it to merge with this body. So now I should be able to go back to my solid sketch, and we're going to extrude this out. I'm going to join that onto that body. And so this should be its own independent body now. Aside from this, okay? Now we're going to cut these down. Okay? So there's our nubbin. So now I should be able to take this body and cascade it across the object, okay? So I hope. In hope, that's what we can do. We'll see how this works. So again, this is our kind of like test bed right now. So we should be able to go to create pattern, and then we got a pattern on path. And we've got this body selected. The path is going to be this. So if we line it to that one, wound up with this one. A little wonky, but I know we're working through it. Okay. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Sure. Okay. Like it's magic. Okay, so the thing that it didn't capture is the pocket that we want cut out on each one of the things. And so that's going to be the next thing I got to figure out. And so maybe it's going to be that we just manually cut each one of these pockets, but at least we're able to get that cascaded across the entire thing. So let's go ahead and Control Z. There's the one that we just worked that we cascaded from because this one is its own object. I wish I could make this pocket be usable too and cascade that pocket at the same time. But at least let's give it a little bit of automation on it. I got to play around with it and figure out a little bit more on how to do it. But next I want to try mirroring it. So if we mirror this, so let's say if we want to mirror, let's create a mirror of that body, the mirror plane being this plane. Okay. Did we mirror? We did, but it put it way out here. That's nowhere near what I needed. So let's Control Z that. Let's try that again. Let's go to create mirror. Now select that body, mirror plane, this plane. Still put it way out here, but I should be able to take this and move this. I guess that would be 35. .2. Okay, so there's 30.2. So it did mirror it, and now we need to figure out how to cut these pockets out. How can I automate cutting those pockets out? Let's see. I'm going to delete these. I know. Delete, delete, delete. Delete, 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 delete. So we're going to press pull this back up. One, okay. There's that line. Point, that point, that point. Point. Okay, so that one's gone. Now we're going to get rid of this. So we're actually just going to press pull this forward. Press pull. Nope, not what I wanted. Nope. Wait. Let's go ahead and let's pull that back up by whatever it was. Dang it. Press pull. Come on, just let me get rid of that nubbin. Wait. Wait, failed. That. So let's take this. Let's press pull this by 0.5. Too much. 1. Okay. That, and I'll press pull this by 1. Okay. All right. Back to where we started. All right. Okay, so let's get back into this. So creating these little nubbins for locking the thing in. So now how can we do this? Let's remove this one also. Delete that, delete that, delete that. And then we're going to pull this forward by 1. And then we're going to delete these lines. Delete. delete those lines. That's fine. Is it not doing it because it is a body? Delete that body. Yes, we'll delete that body. And then we'll delete this body. Oh yeah, so now we're back to our original start. So we're going to delete that sketch point. Fine. So now we're back to our default. Let's go back to the home, which we're working at the top. So let's create a sketch on that profile plane. Center is 2-point rectangle. Center. So we want this be 2.5 by 1. Hold on. Let's Control Z that. I'm going to create on this face and create an engineering line. There's center. And so we're going to go 2.5. In fact, you know, let's bump this up to 3. No, let's go 5. We'll do these on 10 mil? I don't know. Hold on. Let me calibrate something real quick. Oh, I love when I'm indecisive about things. All right, so if we go, let's go, we'll stick with 2.5 for right now, okay? And so we got our engineering line, which should have appeared here somewhere. There. No, no line? Look at that line. Let's try that again. Right. Sketch. That profile plane. Zoom out. A line as a construction line from center. Speed 2.5. Enter. Where did my line go? It's my line for the entire thing. I don't want the line for the entire thing. Okay, well, let's Control Z, Control Z. We'll create a go 3 by 1. Enter. Another one. Should be 3 by 1. Enter. There's that sketch. Delete that from the middle. Delete that other thing in the middle. So now we have our center line. The box. All right. So now another sketch. This profile. I want this to be 5, 1, enter. All right. There's that sketch. So there's our 2 components. So there are 2 drawings. So what we're going to do now, I lost it. There it is. Now what we're going to do is we're going to grab this. I'm going to press this in by 1, actually by -1. Okay. So now we got our cutout. I'm going to press this by -0.25. Okay. So there we go. And now we're going to, oh Lord, camera control, come on. Man, why am I just not doing so hot right now? Let's go to manual rotation controls. Okay, so there we go. Now we're going to press and pull. I get underneath it, so I can grab just that object. And we're going to press pull that across to 6 mil, and this is going to be a new body. Okay. There we have it. We have our new body, which is right here. I don't know why we're having a problem now. Let's not save this, so we're going to go ahead and close that out. Start over fresh real quick. Let's go back to our plate base. So here's our plate base. Right. Back to our home. It's here. So I want sketch. I wonder if I can create this as a new component. Let's try this again. Let's create a sketch on that profile. There's center. Let's see. 1 by 3. Okay. Sketch. Now we're going to do another create sketch, same profile, rectangle. 1. That's going to be 3 by 1. Okay. Sketch. And we're going to take that center line, move that center line, move that center line. So I think that's where I messed up. So if I leave these as two independent defined objects, take that one and I take that one, and I press and pull, and we go -1. We'll create that cut. Okay. I want that removed from this plane though. So now if we go, let's create another sketch. Let's go over this sketch. And so now what we're going to do is we're going to go to our sketches. All these sketches are. So we should turn that sketch off. Okay, there we go. There we go. Okay, so now what we want to do is now we want to create another sketch. And that's going to be on this profile plane. Here, so we want this to be 0.5 by 1. Enter. Sketch. do is we're going to press and pull this by negative 0.25. Okay. So there's that's a deeper pocket. There we go. And so now it shouldn't interfere. So now we're going to press and pull this, and that's going to go across for 6 mil. And this is going to be a new body. Okay. Okay. So now we should have our new body with our pocket. How can I replicate this across the rest of it? A pattern on path, this body, this path, symmetric. Okay. How do I get the cut parameters to follow suit? Very cool. All right, from here, now we should be able to take this and duplicate it to the other side. We go go to create, and so now we're gonna solid, create, mirror, this, mirror plane, going to be create. Set plane here. Okay. So I wonder if I could take this and take it to the offset plane. So let's go to create, mirror, this, 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 that, and that. Mirror plane is going to be this one. We'll still put them way out. Why is it putting them so far out? Oh, because it's mirroring the distance. Okay, I get it now. Because this is our plane that we're mirroring, and so it's basically throwing it out there at the same distance away from what it would be. Okay, that makes much more sense. Instead of mirroring to the opposite side of the object, it's mirroring to the plane. So what I would want to do is I want this to be, I want this offset plane to be moved the center of the object. And so we need to make an offset plane in the center. If we make the offset plane in the center, then it should work fine. So let's go ahead and construct offset plane. So actually, let's draw a line. So let's create sketch, and it's going to be on this plane or this here. Draw a line, construction line. So I'm going to go to the center. We want to draw this line to the center. Finish that sketch. And so we want this line to be our offset plane. So what we're going to do is now we're going to go to modify. We're going to go to construct offset plane. I can select this line. This line to be my offset plane, but it won't let me. So let's try this again. So I got my line. Construct. Mid-plane between this and this. There we go. Mid-plane. Okay. So there's our mid-plane. What I want to do is I want to be able to create, mirror this, that, and that. With our mirror plane being this, should put them right there. Okay. Now what we want to do is we want to mirror this plus this plus this, and So this might take a little bit of selecting to get through all of these. And so let's see if we can mirror these. Let's go to mirror, 20 faces, mirror plane is going to be this. Okay. And there we go. So now we have all of our little nubbins. Our nubbin carriers are all set. Okay. And so now we need to actually add the nubbins, and then we're going to cascade that across both of them. So let's go to, and we're going to create a sketch. And I think I might be able to do it across all of them. So let's create sketch. Let's go to this one for right now. Let's figure out where the midpoint is of this guy. There it is. And so we want this to be 0.5. Sketch. And then we're going to, let's pull this half up. Okay. I'm going to grab those, and we're going to chamfer those in. 2. Okay. Now I want to take this plus this plus this. And now we're going to cascade this. I want to create mirror. There we go. Pattern on path. In path. Let's do 5. I want that basically going to the center point of this dude. Here's exactly where that's at. I need to put a reference line in here where center point would be. There's our center. So we're going to go back, we're going to grab this, 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 and we're going to create pattern on path. Path is going to be here. And And so we're going to be symmetrical. 5. I'm going to drag that guy right over so we are centered. Should give us one nubbin on each one of those. Okay. Oh. Why do we hear compute failed? What I might do is I might generate this entire thing as one object and then cascade it across. So let's do that. So let's go Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, Control Z, beep. Z, Control Z, Control Z. All right, so where's our original one? So I think that's our original one. So Control Z, Control Z. Let's move those. All right, so here we go. So we're going to build out this object first. And then we're going to cascade everything off of this object. Let's go home. So what we're going to do is we're going to go underneath. And we're going to create a sketch. And that sketch is going to be on escape, Control Z. Put this on the bottom profile plane. So create sketch. Bottom profile plane, we'll zoom out. So back in. This, figure out where center is. Come on, center, 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 center. There's center. And they're going to bring that out 25. Enter. And we're going to put that over. Finish that sketch. We're going to press pull this. I'm going to bring that up for the 1 mil. Okay. And then we're going to grab that, that, and that, and we're going to chamfer those in. And we're just going to go 1. -1. Hold on. That plus that. We'll go 0.5. Okay. So now that we have our pockets set, all right, we're going to, I wonder if I can do this as objects and utility. So we need to get our offset plane set. So we're going to go here, we're going to go to construct, we're going to go a mid plane between this and this. Okay, so we got our mid plane established. Now that our mid plane is established, we're going to grab all of these. Hopefully this will work. This, 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 that. That, and that. Okay, and we're going to pattern this, pattern on path. And path we're going to select is going to be this bottom one. And it's going to be symmetric. And we're going to bump this up to 5 units. And we're going to make this a flat 60 mil. Okay. Okay, so it did not take the objects, it just did the cuts, which is fine. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab all these. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. And then 1, 2, 3, and 4. And we're going to mirror these. So we're going to go create mirror. So we got our 20 faces, and then our mirror plane is going to be center line, and hit OK. So now we've got our cuts on both sides, and so now that we have that set, we're going to grab our object. Why did we stop? That was interesting. Printer froze there for a second. It freaked me out. The moment that you're listening to a printer just like cranking away, then all of a sudden it just like stops. It's dead silent. Freaky. Freaky, freaky. Okay. So we got those mirrored, and we have those set. And we're going to grab, and we know our interval is going to be 60 mil. So we're going to go ahead and we're going to pattern on path. We're going to grab this. Our path is going to be here. And we know that this is going to be 60. And then 5. And our 5 is going to be symmetric. So we should have those set in each one of the spots. And we're going to hit OK. There, now we got all of our nubbins on this side. And so what we're going to do is we're going to grab and we're going to mirror the nubbins. We got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And our mirror plane is going to be here. And hit OK. And so now we've got nubbins on each side of the base plate. And so this should allow us to do the snap fit. So the way that this is kind of like worked and designed now is that these nubbins will be able to fit into this channel down here because this is inset ever so slightly. Good Lord. You know, so this is an inset channel. You can see where there's that gray transition. And so that little, it goes light gray, medium gray, dark gray. And that medium gray is the inset distance for this top. And I have them set on the vertical channels because this is the print orientation of the tap handle. So what we're going to do is we're going to reset the base for the badge, and the badge is going to be done the same way. And I might have to like put a little key ring in there to get these things to pop out. I don't know. I'm kind of playing around with it, so for fun, for science, question mark. All right, so this is going to be the snap-in base plate, so removing the magnetics. And so what we should be able to do now is we should be able to turn on all the other ones and then pull this down. But I want to test this for fit first, because I may need to extend these distances out in order to give it enough flex. So let me turn my other camera on real quick. So the way that this is going to be designed is that you'll have the inset channel. And so let me go this way. So we'll have the inset channel, and then we'll have the nubbin. And so we'll have that pocket, and so that's really going to look like this, where we have that little pocket that's cut out in the tap handle, and that nubbin on each one of those. Hopefully we'll have enough flex where we can press it in, it'll squish in over the other material, and then pop into place. And so that's our hope and dream at this point, is if I can get this to print. So I'm actually going to go ahead and print one of these just as the base plate without having adjusted the tap handle. Well, the tap handle is adjusted and accounted for it, but I want to see how this is going to look in the slicer. So we're going to go ahead and save this, and so as you can see, we're on version 24 of the base. So I'm going to save. This is snap in base. That's going to be a new milestone. Okay. I'm going to grab another beer. It is 1:22 in the morning. So now that that is saved, we're going to go ahead and we're going to export this. And this is going to be base, snap, test v1. Export. Go to OBS Studio. And since this is fine, I mean, we're just going to add another plate real quick. And we're going to open that STL we just saved. Done. Boom. So now, as you can see from our print orientation, we've got the little nubbins. Stop moving the model file. Pan the camera, not move the model file. So you've got these little nubbins, and we're gonna chop this because I only want the little bit that's there. So we're gonna cut this, and I want this cut height to be just above where those nubbins is, because all I want to do is I want to test the flex of the nubbins itself. So we're gonna perform cut, and so we're gonna get rid of the top piece. So I don't care about the top piece, and we're going to slice this plate. And I don't care. I want this on like super ultra direct. Well, yeah. I guess we should test it on the print parameters that we're working underneath. Also checking the line thickness for it too, because I see that we got, make sure that we have at least 2 lines of thickness on it. It looks like we're only running one thick line, or maybe it's 2. Let's check the tool head pathing on it. So yep, so it's gonna be 2, but it's gonna be overlap squished. And so we'll run this as a quick test. It's going to take 18 minutes, plenty of time for that. I want to check the factor on these, and if this will work, then we can remove magnets as being a pain point for the brewery. So we'll print this machine 2 on the PLA we have loaded, which is blue, so it doesn't really matter. Then we're going to run into the 0.16 layer height because that's where we're running all this stuff at right now. Here we go. So yeah, this is like raw, unedited, and it's like super fancy gizmo stuff. Just working 3D design and incorporating things that we're getting back as feedback. And I'm going to take one of these and put it in one of the old tap handles just to see how it would fit and if it'll squish in. I'm pretty sure it'll get locked into place, but that's fine. And the goal is to have tension on it and not have it fail. I just don't know how. I may have to increase the thickness of the lines in order to get it to work. Because I mean, if I come up and kind of where I formulated the idea is the hex wall duh. So where do I have a hex wall adapter? Work. Oh gosh. Hex tile wall. I've got a couple panels up there, but I don't have any of the fitments for them. Pull down a fitment. And I think they're in that box up there. All hooks. Now, let me, I guess I'll try to explain it better. I mean, I'm not an engineer. I'm just more of a doer kind of guy. But if we jump over here to the Google machine, and then we'll open up a new window. Yeah, it'll be me, and then we'll just go to hex tile wall. No. Actually, it's honeycomb storage wall by Rostat. Kudos to Rostat for developing this, and I'm kind of not necessarily taking the design. I probably could have just chopped the design apart to make it, but it's like using the honeycomb storage wall. So if we go and we take a look at the oh gosh, where is it at? The user files. File 67. So that's just the, so here parts for attaching honeycomb to the wall. Yeah, so let me see here. Any one of these will kind of do, but we'll pull this one up. So if we look at it, it's the same. Oh, that's interesting. He has the orientation like that. Maybe that's what I need to do is I need to change the orientation. But it took kind of the same philosophy that's going into this, where this is printed in place. And if we have a set pocket with a cut pocket with a nub that can be basically molded in, it's like this little section right here with this little nubbin basically presses in and then locks into place. And so that's kind of where I did the design over on mine, where it's like I had the same thing in mind, but I changed kind of the orientation of it. Maybe I'll extend this open a little bit and make it a little bit wider, but I want these to be able to lock into where it would be for the tap handle. And so from a structural standpoint, it's the same concept and design. I just may need to adjust these a little bit. I just want to make sure that this is going to have enough flex. And we've got 13 more minutes until the test is done, and then I'll see how well it fits. And so for once it is complete though, it's like it'll be great. And I want to check a couple of these. Make sure there's no gapping in it. Because I mean, this would be the case where once this is done, I'm just going to take the top emblems and I'm going to pull them over. Of course, I got to jump back into OBS Studio and work all the color heights and everything that's going to go into it, which won't be too difficult to do. I mean, that's a pretty quick deal. And if you guys were really curious about it, for anybody that does stumble across this video, is working it so you can have things arranged by color height for ease of printing. If we jump back over to Studio real quick, preview. Nope, that's the actual current tab panel that's being printed right now. It still seems to be printing just fine. Not that version of the studio. Get out of here. June bugs, I swear. Good night, June bug. Good night. It's the problem with having my garage doors open at night is the level of creaturification that I get in here is pretty substantial. So, bug. No spiders tonight, though, that I can remember. Killed a couple inside the house, but no, it's just spiders. All right. We're getting into printing. Just dragging a bunch of junk off the print head. Why did you not go down the purge? Poop shoot. Done building up at the bottom. Yeah, both my bamboos are having some creaks and squeaks, and I gotta get some lube in there on the idler pulleys all over the place and see if I can get them working a little bit better. Yeah. All right. What was I talking about? Yeah, so if we do direct comparison between this and this, it's kind of the same functional concept design of a snap-in piece. Once I have it done, then I mean it's done. Then it'll save like 0.25 grams of filament by changing the print orientation, so it's making those little hooks. I just don't know how well structurally sound those are going to look, so we could actually pull that open too into Bamboo Studio and take a look at it. So we'll go ahead and export this one, pull V27, export, pop up another version of Bamboo Studio. Oh, lordy. 1:33 in the morning, so we're doing pretty good on time still. But if we can get away from magnets, I mean, that's going to cut the cost down even more. So it's like each one of these tap handles will probably be able to produce for about $5. Let's see, prep, open, 7, open, da-da-da. Okay, so here's the new tap handle design with no magnets. And if we go ahead and slice this quick. So we take this down. You can see right there, that tiny little lip. That tiny little lip is what we're doing, but we're going to bump this up, so we would want strength. Let's give these actually up to the same profile that we're using. So 5, 6, 4, 25. That's going to be gyroid. Just reslice it. All right, so there we go. That looks a little bit better. So here, this little spot is the only point of concern. So I may need to change the dimensions of it or kick this back just ever so slightly more. But the goal is I don't want it to be so difficult that it can't be popped in and out easily. But yeah, so if we go over to, nope, wrong. So let's see, let's go over to Bamboo Studio where we have the, oh gosh, which window was it? I don't remember. Neither here nor there. So what we can do is we can just, so there's the tap handle. Okay, so it is this one. Okay, so preview. So if you think about it, that little nubbin right there, and it looks like I may have to increase that. So this little nubbin, I'm pretty sure I need to make that bigger. Just looking at it, I don't know if it's going to truly lock into place. That little nubbin is going to drop into this little channel. And so our first test is going on the printer right now. It's 5 layers deep. And so there's our overhang. So I probably should have taken it up like, you know, one or two more layers just to see how this is going to work, because I I don't know, and it's all kind of destructive testing right now, which is fine. So if this works, great. And so this way it would just hold in by tension, and we may need to adjust this to account for a little bit more. I don't know why that one's having some weird things going on. It's jutting out a little bit more, but whatever. That's why we're testing. Oh, I think that's because that's where it's doing its layer shift. Is on that point, on that nubbin. Weird spot to be doing it. So layer height. Let's go back and let's go to line type. So our scene. So yeah, that's gonna be where the layer height transition is gonna be at. We got 6 minutes left. I just hope that there's enough gap and spacing in here to accommodate this. So, no, I want to take the slider down. And so I think it should. I may need to increase this ever so slightly. But if we go and we pop that, let's open up another bamboo window, and we're going to pull that one cap down for that one mounting spot. So let's go to prep, open. I have no idea where my honeycomb storage wall stuff is. Xfinity, storage wall, accessories, open. All right, so we take this guy, and let's add it on a new plate. We're just going to take this one over here, and we're going to set it to the same parameters we have for the other one. So optimal 0.16. Sure, use modify value, I don't care. So 0.16, and we're going to go 5 outer walls, 6 rectilinear, and then we'll go change this to gyroid, and we slice this, and so it looks like it has 2 dedicated walls on the external versus 2 squish walls is what I'm running, and so we'll probably adjust those line widths on the model file to be more co-aligned with what this is. So we're going to grab this, we're going to spin this over. And so right now, we're at 0.5. And so if we go 0.5, we come back over here and we do the prep. Let me take a look at the model. Let's take a look at our spacing between here and here. And so that's going to be 0.8 mil is what they have for spacing. And so I've got 0.5 set. So, and then if we look at the wall to wall, 0.604. So 0.604 was able to get 2 full walls. And so we'll take that into account. The rest of this is going to be solid for what we're looking at. Now let's take a look at the distance of what they have set for here. So we're going to cancel out of that, measure, go here to here, 8 mil. And so right now we have our set for 6 mil. And so we'll probably have to go back and work the design in order to get it set for an 8 mil with the parameters that we have set for the rest of one of these little nubbins into our other design. And so, yeah, we'll take a look at it and see if we can incorporate some of how this locking mechanism works versus what we've come up with here with this guy. And so if we increase this and then leave it just as a squish distance, because the squish distance I need is only like the height of this, which is 0.25. And so if I take this to like 0.65, that'd still give us quite a bit of flex room for this thing to bow in on a 6 mil run. You know, this is a good first swag of working the design for a snap-in. And we'll see if it works or not. I mean, I don't know if it will or won't. And I'm just looking at it right now, probably not. And it looks like I got too much bleed over. And it may be that I need to not run this on a textured PEI plate at the same time. I may need to run this on a smooth plate, which is fine. I'm not worried about running a smooth plate on it. And so, yeah. And the good news is now that these are all kind of set, I should be able to just grab, adjust. We'll be right back real quick. Okay. So we just got it finished for the first kind of like little test. And right now, just looking at it, it's way too, you can see where those light blue sections are at on here. They're just way too small. So we're going to need to increase all the parameters for them because there's just not enough gap spacing for it to set as nubbins. You can definitely feel them though. They are there. You can see exactly kind of where they're at just based off where there's a little bit of discoloration on it. But yeah, it's needs some work and easier to see when you hold it up to a light. Let me see if I can pan the camera up to it. Let me go over here. And then let's zoom in. So let me see if I can get this. Is that the right light? No. No. Nope, nope, there we go. Just wasn't holding it up high enough. So if we hold it up, you can see where those little nubbins are at. There's, yeah, really hard to work with light here. Anyway, the nubbins just aren't big enough. We'll come back down to our preset. We'll go over to our preset for the workbench, and we'll zoom in on the workbench. And so this is just kind of like the press fit. And it's like, it presses in just fine. And it locks into place. I don't know how I'm going to get that out now. Sizing is fine. Everything is fine. The nubbins have literally locked that into place for one of these old tap handles. I mean, it does lock it into place. That's for sure. But I don't think it's going to be big enough for what we need for what we're trying to accomplish. And so we're going to adjust the parameters of the nubbins so that it will hold and bite a little bit better. And so we'll probably go back and revisit how it's printed, but yeah, that's what we want to avoid, is we want to avoid it being able to completely pop out of place. So if I smack it, it does fall out. So let's go back through and let's rework part of the design on the nubbins. Okay, so okay, what we're gonna do is I want to leave 5 on each side, and so we have that last version saved, the timeline. So we're going to start over. Oh, I love starting over. The starting over is probably going to be the easiest way to go. All right, so we got our initial design here. So what we're going to do is we're going to push this pocket E4, 5. Okay, so we're going to push that pocket in a little bit. And then we're going to take this and this, and we're going to also 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, so 10, so we're going to extend it by 1 mil. Actually, we want it, yeah, we want it by 1 mil. Okay. Now what we're going to do is we're going to extend this 0.5, we're going to go 0.6, 0.7, So we'll go, so that's 8 mil right there. No, 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 no. 0.2. So that'd be 8 mil. Okay. And so we're going to make this guy, see if we can make this bigger. I don't know that I can. So 1.6. Okay. And I'm going to grab this, and then this, and I'm going to extend those. We got our 1 mil on each side. Okay. All right, so there's our new nubbin. I wonder if I can modify these. Nope. I would need to modify that and that, though. Okay. That's our new modified nubbin. Except I don't. Do we want to have that? I don't think so, because that's going to add too much structural rigidity, so that should be fine just as is. I was hoping to take this in some. Actually, no, I don't really want to take that in. Shouldn't matter. Unless I roll the rest of that bottom piece in. I don't think I need to. Well, we'll try it with this, okay? Let me go back over here. And what is the height of each one of these? No, not from there. Escape. .16 mil. Okay, so that's the next thing we got to work on is we got to increase this. Well, we can't. We can't really increase it to 2.16 because we can look at how we have the inset on the tap handle. Oh my gosh, this one. The gap spacing is very, very finite here. Very, very finite. And so we needed to fit in this like pocket. Yeah. So we can't increase that without dramatically pushing this in a little bit and then making it deeper, which might work in the long run too. I mean, I don't know. I got to play around with it. But we're looking at tolerances of like 0.25 mil. And that's 0.25 mil to inches. 0.25 to inches. Inches fraction. Why is that? No. It's got to be like tens of thousands of an inch. Come on, like 0.25. Come on. It's not important. I should literally just like chop this thing apart and just take these things and then put them into my own design, but I'm not that big of a scumbag. I want to show that I'm actually doing it. It is 1:57 in the morning. I need to get my butt to bed because tomorrow is Monday and I'm going to be back in the office. Of the tree-form slug monster. Tree-form slug monster. All right. So let's stop dallying and get back into Fusion. All right. So here is our new improved nubbin, quote unquote improved. And then, okay, so what we'll do is we will take a measurement sample of here to here. Should be 1 mil. Okay. So what I may need to do is I may need to increase my layer height from 0.16 to something a little bit more finite. So let's grab this face, that face, that face, and that face. And so we're going to cascade and mirror. So we're going to create a pattern on path. And we're going to go on this path. And then we're going to extend that real quick, just give us the options. I'm going to go 3 or 5. And we're going to set the distance to 60. And this is going to be symmetric. Okay. And then we're going to take these. What I might do is I might cascade it first. And so let's go 1, 2, 3, 4. And we're going to create mirror. And we're going to do the mirror plane is going to be our modified split plane. Okay. And then we're going to grab, create mirror. It's like body. Mirror plane is going to be that plane. Your body, okay. And so we got those mirrored. And so now what we're going to do is we should be able to double cascade this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. I should be able to create pattern on path. Our path is going to be this. So we should be able to do this on 4, 5, and then set distance to 60. No, because I'm on a weird path now. So let's try that again. One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Create pattern on path. Okay. Why can I not select an additional path? So that's messing up all my math. So let's just call this 20. Okay. Now if we do the same thing, no, this is dumb. It says Control Z that. Let's try this again. All right. Let's just do it on both sides. It's going to be way easier. 1, 2, 3, 4. Create pattern path. No, not that. 4 pattern on path is going to be here. And then we're going to go symmetrical, and we will go to a set distance of 60. Not 600, 60. And 4, 5. Okay. Create pattern on path. This object, path, that path. Symmetrical distance to be set to 60. And then 4, 5. Okay. All right, now we're going to do the same thing for the opposite side. One, 2, 3, 4. Pattern path on this path to 60, 4, 5, symmetrical. Okay. And then create pattern on path. This object, this path, 60, 4, 5, symmetrical. Okay. All right. Now we're going to save this. So this is a milestone for V26. Snap in V26. Sure. Okay. I'll jump over to Studio. Let's go to here. We'll zoom out. Prep. Let's go ahead and add a new plate. Open. Oh. Clearly I did not export this. Export. Export. so here is the next one. So there's our little, nope, that's the previous edition. And here's the new edition. Let's slice this. So we're going to cut this again. Let's go to prep, grab the model, cut the model, sure, perform cut. There's our top piece that we don't need anymore. There's our base. And so now we're going to check this. So slice plate. So we've got 2 gaps. So I don't think those nubbins are still quite big enough, but they are much more pronounced. Okay, so what we'll do is we'll go ahead and it's going to take 22 minutes to print. 22 minutes. I want something faster than that. Three, 4, 5, 6. And so 6 is our gap layer. 7, second gap layer. 8, third gap layer. 9, there's our bridging. So we should have 3 layers in between to allow that to divide in. Okay. So I'm probably going to have to increase those nubbins a little bit more. Just looking at it. But we're going to go ahead and we're going to run this as a print. Send it. And then go spit some apple juice on the smoked pork, or the pulled pork. And we'll just let this run for a minute. I'll be right back. Let's take a look at what we got. Hopefully this one turned out a little bit better. I don't know if I did or didn't, but and then after this I'm going to go to bed and we'll continue to refine probably tomorrow night. Because I need to go to bed. A little bit of a excess on there. Yeah, so that actually worked out quite a bit better. Quite a bit better. And so the little nubbins, they do flex. Granted, I'm poking at them while they're still warm, so they're kind of breaking off. Not really breaking off, but there's stress being induced on them. But much tighter fit. Still pops out, but again, this one doesn't have a lip on it, so I think once we get the ones with the actual lip, so it'll connect into the lip, it should snap into place and just be held into place. Will probably be better because they're not snapping in at all, because this isn't designed to snap in. This is designed for magnetics. And then we can probably refine it quite a bit more and increase the nubs and a few other things, and I think that will probably make it a little bit better. So we'll play around with that. At least we have the baseline design down, and now it's going to be just, again, refinement moving forward. Now, granted, magnets are a fantastic option otherwise, but we'll play with it. We get a good start, and we learned some stuff. So that's what matters for me, is that constant progression and learning, making you more successful in the long run. Anyway, from another edition of the Late Night Garage with yours truly, I will catch you all later on. And man, I need a haircut. All right.